Hey, welcome to another edition of Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things, Monday to Friday at noon. Little lunchtime fun, and I hope you guys are having a great day and you're ready for a great weekend. Happy Good Friday, everybody. Don't forget Easter comes up on Sunday, so I hope you're getting together with your family and friends. We got a great show lined up for you guys today. Pete Greco, of course, one of Chicago's greatest singers in the Chicagoland area, with Lounge Puppets and so much more stuff he's got going on. Nice history this guy's got. So he's going to come on at about 12:20 right after the Ace Hardware Weather Minute. But guys, check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com. Give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, our men and women in the military. Let's not forget our veterans and, of course, mostly people like you. Take the time and sit and watch the show. Now, we're coming live to you on the Tony Ocean Show Facebook page. We're on the Ocean's Pit Facebook page. We're on the Mo Carraro Facebook page. We're on LinkedIn. We're on YouTube. And we're on X, formerly Twitter. All at Lunchtime Fun. It's showtime, everybody. Seventh Heaven, bring us in. It's time for Ocean's Pit. Thank you. Come on. Thank you, Richie and the boys. Guys, welcome to Ocean's Pit. It's another day. Again, it's Friday, and it is April 3rd. So hope you guys having a great day. What a great weekend. What a great week we've been having. It's been crazy. But before we get into all the stories and all the good stuff, it's time for our sponsors, our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local. All your JRC Ace Hardware store locations, and breaking ground. The brand new one's coming to Elmwood Park in October. They broke ground 2 days ago. Don't forget, there's one in Richmond, Fox River Grove, Warrenville, Des Plaines, Norridge, Evergreen Park, Mesa, Arizona, and more. And they got some great deals going. Let's try with this one. This is good starting today till the end of April. Spring Refresh. Spring has officially arrived, and your local JRC Ace Hardware is here to help you yard make a serious comeback. Right now, the April Red Hot days are now full in effect. Ace Reward members grab the Eagle Power Plus 56-volt Select Cut XP Pop Mower and just $729. That's a savings of $150. Need more power? When you buy Select Eagle Blower and String Trimmer Kit, we'll throw in a 2.5 amp hour battery. I'm telling you, it's $200 value, absolutely free. And don't forget the fertilizer. Earn a $25 bonus reward when you spend $150 on essentials from Scotts, Miracle Grow. Stop by and see every of us here at the JRC Ace Hardware locations. And visit the online website at acehardware.com. And don't forget to tell them to grill your ace off and get that grill ready for the summer season is here, man. Our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local. Guys, what a great night last night. Thank you all for coming out to Zaza's in Lake Barrington, folks. You know, we've been crazy this 5 nights a week now. It's nuts. So last night, what a great jumping crowd. Thank you so much, Massimo and Filippo and the owners over there. It was great seeing everybody there. Appreciate it. Seeing Nino, of course, and Mike Pappas and everybody. Double T, great job, my friend. So thank you, everybody, from last night. We're going to keep the party going. Oh, Jimmy the Suit, great seeing you too, my brother. Tonight we'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg. That's an 8 o'clock hit. Me and Jumpin' Jerry Jams. I'm excited about that. We always have a lot of fun at Chicago Prime. Then Saturday we'll be at Johnny's Kitchen and Tap in Glenview. So hope you guys come out and enjoy the fun. A lot of good stuff happening. So I'm in good mood. And you know why? Because it's time. We already had 3 Chicago music cruises with Seventh Heaven. Sold them out, all 3. Now it's time for the next one, folks. Number 4, that's right. back on the Royal Caribbean. We just got back in March from the MSC World America, but this one's the Royal Caribbean, January 10th to January 17th, 2027. Orlando, Bahamas, Coco Cay, St. Martin, and St. Thomas. Tony Ocean and the main event band, and of course, Seventh Heaven. It's going to be a lot of fun. Go to ChicagoMusicCruise.com, put in Tony Ocean, or better yet, pick up the phone and call Mary at NTD Vacations, 630-688-1725, and tell them Tony O sent you. You want to jump on that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we've had fun already the last three, so I'm excited about this one. All right, so hope you guys didn't get hit with the storm yesterday. You know, I thought the storm was going to hurt the crowd yesterday, but you know what? One thing about the Tony Ocean people, they come out, they like to drink, they like to have fun, and they like to spend money. And the Zaza's got great Italian food, and we play the first Thursday of every month for the last 10 years. So what a great crowd it was. And they were out. The storm didn't stop anybody from coming out there. But I hope you guys got no damage. We got no damage here in Oak Grove. So everything was okay. But they said we're probably going to get some more rain. So we'll see what happens. So far, I know it's going to rain later on tonight, but we'll tell you that later on. All right, today is also National Walking Day. So if you guys like walking, you know, guys, I'm not much with exercise. I try to do the best I can eat-wise. You know, I'm 5'10", 5'11". I just turned, 63? I'll be 64 in December. So I'm at 208 pounds. As long as I get 8, I want to get down to maybe 206. But then if I start, because I'm tall, I start looking skinny and I don't look right. So, hey, my daughter's getting married in May. So I want to make sure I look good for that particular day. Anyway, so that's good. All right. It's Good Friday. So I don't know if you Catholics or people, we try not to eat meat. I don't know if you guys still do that, but it is Good Friday tonight. And don't forget, Chicago Prime Steakhouse has great fish. They got a lot of other stuff besides steak for tonight. Just giving you guys a heads up at Chicago Prime tonight. There was a rumor going on, and I've heard all over the social media the last couple of days about the NFL changing the 3-point field goal to 4 points. Now, that's not true. It was all over social media yesterday. It's not going to happen. NFL still gives you only 3 points for a field goal. But where they do give you the 4 points is the UFL League. They do give you 4 points with that field goal. So, we talked about it yesterday. We've been talking about it off and on. I'm not a Chicago Bears fan. I'm a New York Giants fan. I know I got Harbaugh this year. I got the right team this year. Odell Beckham might be joining us. So I'm really excited about that. And I know a lot of people are concerned about the Chicago Bears moving to Indiana. I'm favored for it. I can't wait till they pack up and leave. But remember one thing, guys. The New York Giants, my team, is played in New Jersey forever. So it's no big deal, but we'll see what happens. I know it's a whole thing between the McCaskies and Prickster, but I don't know. Some people are happy if they go, and some people want them in Arlington Heights. I know people who live in Arlington Heights and don't want them in Arlington Heights, and then I do people that do. So we'll see what happens. It's not for another, 6-7 years anyway, right? I don't know how long they have on the contract on Soldier Field, but it should be interesting to see what happens with that. Okay. And Craig, watching, where are you from? Colachi, Walmart. Oh, Craig, well, nice to see you. Church today, Jeanette Albert from Ron Onesti's organization. Mary, how are you doing? NTD Vacations. Kathy Eppolito, California's in the house. Iowa, let's say hello to Ohio. Michigan is in the house. Indiana, how are you doing? Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Happy Easter to all our friends. There's Carol Brandolino, Ronnie B. What's up, guys? Ocean's Pit today. Linda, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. All right, so another rumor that was going on, that smoking. Second City Comedy Theater put something out about smoking. They're going to try to bring smoking back to the theater. Of course, we have I think the no smoking ban has been banned since 2002. I'm not a smoker. I'm a cigar smoker. I'm my 3-4 cigars a day. And then, of course, it's not going to happen. More rumors of that happen. I think people will flip out. Oh, God forbid someone's smoking. And you know what's interesting about the whole smoking thing and the whole, whether cigarettes, but I noticed, like, when we do these cruises, and we do a lot of stuff out of state, especially like when we do like Mississippi, Louisiana. Like this year, we're going to be in Nebraska, back to Mississippi again. We're in Corbin, Kentucky. We're in Texas and Lubbock in December with Oceans Rat Pack. But the thing is, it's amazing how many people still smoke on the southern. You go to Texas, I still people see smoking all the time. Louisiana people are smoking all the time. Mississippi people are smoking all the time. Las Vegas people are smoking all the time. It's interesting. On the last cruise we did, the MSC World America, it was a European cruise ship. And everybody was smoking with either cigarettes or vaping. There wasn't that many people smoking cigars. It was maybe our group of 8 or 9 guys because we all smoke. But it was interesting to see moms, dads, kids, everybody vaping. So, Second City, there is no smoking coming to the theaters in Second City, even though it was all over social media yesterday. So that is not going to happen. And speaking of theaters, folks, the AMC theaters closed 213 theaters in 5 years. Now there's 85 more leases up to expire this year at the end of 2026. I used to love to go to a movies, and I sometimes still do. The problem with me is the topics that come out on movies these days, if it's not sci-fi, if it's not something, if it's not like Planet of the Apes or, any monster stuff, I don't go see anything. I haven't seen a movie in a while, but Jurassic Park, like the dinosaur stuff and everything like that. But I still love going to a movie theater, and it's sad that they're coming to a close. And what they're doing now, they're saying some of the new feature films that are coming out, folks, they're going to keep them out on the theaters maybe for 7 days, maybe a week, and then they're shoving them right back onto streaming and Netflix and Paramount and all these other HBOs. But I think that's going to be coming to an end very, very soon, and it's sad. It's sad. It's another thing from my childhood that's going away. You know what I mean? And it's just sad. Jeff Hunt, Seventh Heaven in the house. What's up, my brother? Look forward to seeing you tonight. Nick Anthony, how are you doing? Dennis, Lake Geneva. Carol, how are you doing? I think if the people have to pay for the Bears to stay, let them go. Well, to answer your question, Carol Biaggi, how are you doing? Thank you. Welcome to Ocean's Pit. I don't think, to be honest with you, why should we have to pay the taxes? I think Hammond, Indiana is going to, from what I'm hearing, I don't know if it's fact. So what I'm hearing, they're going to give them $2 billion and give them a stadium where it won't cost the city, the Bears, anything. So financially, it would be a good thing for the Bears to go there, financial wise. So who knows? We'll have to see what happens. Dave, I hope you're doing well. I just talked to your buddy Miles, so I think I'm going to see you guys Saturday night at Johnny's Kitchen and Tap in Glenview. That's an 8 o'clock hit this Saturday. So that's sad to hear about it's just sad to hear about the whole things with the movie theaters and barbers and everything. It's like, your childhood is going away, which really stinks. You're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Let's talk about Jack Vayner Landscaping. They offer monthly maintenance programs, bush trimming, spring, fall cleanup, bed mulching, fertilizing, weed control. They offer plant design, service, installation, and servicing the North Shore for the last 50 years. Call Tommy at 847-432-5266 and tell him Tony O sent you. And let's not forget Danny Mazzi at Armando Supermarkets, 925 Liberty Street in Elgin, Illinois. Buy local, shop local, meats, groceries, prepared food, and rotisserie chicken, and more. Our good friends from Armando's. Tell them Tony O sent you. You're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big things, folks. Don't forget, in about another 5, 10 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, Peter Greco from Lounge Puppets will be joining us. There's Danny Mazzi. Guys, another busy week. Next Wednesday, we'll be at the Jacob Henry Mansion on Wednesday with Ocean's Rat Pack. Thursday, the Shea Hotel in Arlington Heights. Friday, we'll be at the Hobart Theater. 4 tickets left. We are sold out. That's 2:30 to 4:30. And then at 7 o'clock that same night, we'll be at Primo International Italian American in Gurnee. And then the next night on the 12th, Ocean's Rat Pack, we're going down to the Aircraft Theater in Franklin, Indiana on the 12th. Woo! Back in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin on the 16th at the Getaway 5 to 8. And a lot more gigs coming up on that. All right, so congratulations to our good friends from Elmwood Park, the mayor, Skip Saviano, folks, and the whole committee out there. They're in Rome right now with the Pope. Very cool at the Vatican to give them an honorary key to the city of Elmwood Park. So congratulations to Skippy and the great town of Elmwood Park. And Peter, our guest coming on, Peter's originally from Elmwood Park too, so we have a lot in common there. But Skippy doing great work with the town of Elmwood Park. So keep up the great job there, Skippy, that you do. All right. Governor Prickster, as I like to call him, Fred Flintstone. This guy, with our taxes right now as high as they are in this state of Illinois, now they want to try to put on a way to tax the miles that you drive. They're trying to put this thing through in the state of Illinois. Now, I work 5 nights a week with Tony Ocean, right? Between that and Ocean's Rat Pack. So the miles, and I lease my caddy. I had a caddy my whole life, and I've been leasing for I don't know how many years. Thank God, we can move a couple things with the guys that I go through. But imagine if they were tax your miles while as much as you drive. For me, but thank God I don't live in the city of Chicago. But if they do it all the whole state, that's completely insane. Imagine this kind of crap. Felix Greco, another great singer. How you doing, buddy? I hope your mom is well. Robin, I'm listening from Florida. Well, enjoy Florida there, Robin, and say hello to your daughter for me. I also just want to put a shout out to my friend Patrice, of course, former Chicago Honey Bear. Unfortunately, her father did pass away last night about 3 a.m. in the morning. So, Patrice, prayers to you and your family, my dear friend. Just sad. Great guy he was. Hammer, how are you doing? Dennis, how you doing? You guys have a tight schedule. Yeah, it's been crazy. But anyway, for them to do that is just completely nuts. And you know what else is completely nuts? According to the USA Network, Las Vegas. If you live off the outside of Las Vegas and you want to get onto the Strip, they're thinking of putting a tollway where you'd have to pay $20 to get in the Strip of Las Vegas, folks. $20. It's almost like we're back in New York in Manhattan trying to cross the bridge over there. $20 to go drive into the Strip. This is what they're trying to propose here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I haven't been to last time we were in Las Vegas, we were there from 2000 to 2008. We played at the Riviera. Beautiful place, the casino. Of course, that's not there no more. Vegas has completely changed. But imagine them trying to do that. Unbelievable. Crazy as it is. And some of these things, it's just nuts. One thing after there's Patrice. Want to tax. Patrice want to tax because of electric cars not getting enough money for gas. Yeah, because you know what? No one's buying these electric cars. Who wants an electric car? I'm sorry. It was funny because we were driving. We did the Hard Rock Casino on Wednesday for International Cheap Trick Day, of course, with the Dream Police, and Rick Nielsen joined us, and Dax and Miles all came up and said it was a beautiful night. But what I'm trying to say is when me and Tony were talking about it, Tony Toto, there was no electric charging stations anywhere that we seen near the Rockford area. So, but if we were driving out there with the electric car, it's crazy. I'll never get an electric car, at least not now. When there's school buses, when I see semi trucks, when I see certain things, then maybe. But hey, even though my Cadillac guy tried to call me and tell me, hey, Tone, your lease is up in October. We got an electric caddy. Do you want? No, don't want it. All right, enough of that. You know what it's time for? It's time for the Ace Hardware weather. And I don't want to keep my buddy Peter waiting because we have a lot to talk about with Peter. The weather, Ace Hardware. Brought to you by our good friends from Ace. And the weather today for Friday, April 3rd, we're looking at 51 degrees, folks, 72% humidity, 5-mile-an-hour winds. It's not too bad out there, but we're predicting 50-60% chance of rain between 9 p.m. and midnight tonight. So is what it is. That's brought to you by our good friends from JRC Ace Hardware. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Our good friends from Ace Hardware. All right, so without any further ado, I'll do a little click over here. and do another click. And let me see if we get him on the screen. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ocean's Pit. Pete Greco. Pete, how are you doing, sir?
Doing great. Honored to be on the show.
Well, yeah, man. Thanks to have you, man. You know what? Hey, look, I know you were supposed to have you on you last week. You weren't feeling well, but looks like you're doing well now. And thanks for being on here, Peter. Your history, go. You've been doing it a long time. And before the nitty-gritty stuff, where were you born, Peter?
Elmwood Park, Illinois. You've got the Prickster. I've got Illinois.
Yeah. I love it. And Peter, you got a big family?
Brother, sister. She passed when she was 31. My mother had 3 siblings. So large family. We were all in Elmwood Park, blocks away from each other. Most of them have passed, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. But yeah, I've got a son. And I don't advertise it too much on Facebook. I don't get into my personal life that much.
Yeah.
I do talk politics, as people know. But and recently, 2 years ago, I was blessed with twin grandchildren, a boy and a girl, Peter and Madison. So then they are the joy of my life.
I know. I've got 2 boys, and I got another one coming in April. Yeah, so I've got 3 boys coming. So I know what you're saying. Thank you, man. Congratulations. Peter, you're singing. You've grown up. Do you remember who influenced you? Was there a family member? Was somebody seen on TV? Who was it said, man, I want to do this?
Well, it's interesting, but my mother's cousin was engaged to Elvis Presley's cousin. So at a very early age, my mother was actually in Elvis Presley's suite in Chicago, and he held a picture of me. It's my claim to fame with Elvis. But I used to listen to all the old, Elvis Presley records. I think I wanted to be Elvis at a really early age. And I would listen to all the 50s because that's what my mother was into. And those 45s, Fats Domino, Jerry Lee Lewis, all the Buddy Holly, all the good old stuff is what I was really born and raised on. And I just sang along with it. I didn't know that's what I wanted to do. I didn't know that I was any good at it. I just thought everybody could do it. I guess I was naive. And 15 years old in Tony and Larry Marviglia's basement in Elmwood Park, which was 2 blocks away from my house, their band Bottom Line, their singer Joe Mancino was not there. I was there. They started playing Triumph, Lay It on the Line. And I jumped up and started singing the song, and they all stopped playing their instruments. I apologized, said I didn't mean to touch your stuff. And they said, listen, you just sang Rick Emmett. Why didn't you tell us you could sing? I'm like, I can't sing. They go, you just sang Rick Emmett. And listen, learn these songs, and we'll come back next week. So they gave me a sheet full of songs. And next week when I showed up, there was a bunch of girls there. I sang the songs. They all wanted to talk to me. I went right to Coach Stearns at Elmwood Park, said, I'm quitting football, quitting baseball. I'm going to be a rock star. That's the story.
Yeah,
that's the story.
That's it, baby. And that's the end of the story. Right? Absolutely. So, Peter, do you remember your first gig, where it was? Very first professional gig. How's that?
It wasn't actually my first gig. It was my first time on stage.
Okay.
I, rehearsed and written songs because I was into original music. And I was at a place called McGreevy's. I believe it was up in Glenview. Yeah. And there was a band there that evening. I think I was 18 years old or 19. And the singer was really sick and could not sing, had no voice. So they asked if anybody knew a lot of the songs. My friends encouraged me to get up. And that was my first time, I got up and I sang, and that was really my first experience on stage. It was like nothing. It was like natural. I just walked on stage and I was supposed to be there.
See that when you know, and it's and which is very, very cool. And I know we all started kind of when we did the whole. I remember. Well, I know you got theater. You started with that group, and remember when we were starting the whole original thing. We all want that record deal. You know, back with me with 1313 and Broken Heart and doing all that and trying. I know you guys did pretty well with theater. I know you went on the did some stuff with Warrant and stuff like that. But did you, when you were doing original music, was your goal to become the rock star thing, or was your goal to do it as a living?
It was, I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to, you know, tour and write songs and be in videos. And it was endless. It was, the reward was the reaction from the crowd, because, you know, when you're doing the original thing, you really don't make money. We didn't make money. Even when we had the Warrant tour, we would take shows off script just to pay for our rider truck and gas and meals.
Yeah.
So it's not everything that it's, you know, cracked up to be. But that was my goal.
No, it's not. Okay, so great. So then theater does its thing. When did you know that it was over, in your opinion? Did you say this is it? I'm going to try something else.
I want to say I had left theater to join a band called My Hero, or start a band called My Hero, because Tony, Tony Marcus from XYZ, he was a guitar player in XYZ. Sure. And Craig Kaysen was the drummer for Nitro. They saw me singing in the China Club downtown and said they've been touring and they've been looking for a singer. We decided to get together. Tony would send me songs from Los Angeles. He also played with Rat. He played with, you know, Stephen Pearcy, and he would send me some stuff. I would put lyrics and melody to it. He flew in. We put together a rehearsal, and then the next thing you know, we're out in LA at the Roxy, at the Whiskey, at FM station, and next thing you know, we get picked up by John Brewer, who managed Yes and Alvin Lee, and he says he could put us on the Warrant tour, and it all happened, you know, so fast. We were doing that for a while, and I was out in LA, and we had a little bit of time off that we were going to come back home, and I had a little bit of time to spend out there. And I started to realize, you know, I was about 28 years old. It wasn't my scene. The parties, listen, women are my scene, but those kind of parties, those kind of women, it was getting old, and it really wasn't my type of scene. And I actually called my mother, as much as people could laugh at that. I called Ma. I said, "Hey, Ma, you know what? I really just want to come home." So, you know, we changed our ticket. I went home, and I started doing some soul searching. You know, we had been looked at by Sony. We had been looked at by so many different labels. They want to hear stuff. And the big break really was the My Hero thing, because they were serious about us. Sony was serious about us. And when I got home, my older sister passed away. And it was, she just died in her sleep. They never found a reason. They said maybe sleep apnea or an arrhythmia. And, you know, when she passed, it kind of puts your life into perspective. And I started to realize I wasn't getting what I wanted out of life. And I had sacrificed everything for music to chase a dream that, you know, chances are is not going to come true. No matter how good you think you are, there's so many talented people out there that write well and perform well. And I said, you know what? I think it's about time I give this up. I give up singing, period, and move on. And, you know, I'd like a family. I would like children, and start, you know, pursuing those things. It wasn't a difficult decision. I had done so much, and it wasn't that difficult of a decision once I made the decision.
And, you know, you get to the point where you're right. And that can you say, well, you know, and you look at you now. Now, if I remember the last time we talked, 30 years you've been married. Is that true?
Yeah, we just had our 30th on February 12th. I met her 9 months after my sister had passed. She's the one that got me back.
See what I mean? And I remember you were telling me she didn't even know you were a singer, right? She didn't know that.
No,
something
she didn't.
The story you were
She
telling me.
did not know.
So now, Peter, I got to ask you. Yeah, wait a minute. Now, you know this from the stories you hear from musicians, entertainers, 30 years old. You got a wife that support, and I believe if you have a spouse that supports what you do, you're going to get much more successful. How do you keep? How is that, hon? I'm going to miss this. Nah, I can't do this thing. I can't go to Aunt whatchamacallit's wedding. I can't go to the christening. I can't do this. How did you handle that?
Well, for the first, I would say 15 years, when the Lounge Puppets was an accident, we thought we were going to rewrite the cover scene. We're going to do songs nobody's doing, and they should be doing these songs. And then you find out those songs just don't go over, and people don't want to hear them. They want to hear the low-hanging fruit, and that's all they want to hear, the stuff that they could sing along with. So, we started doing that. I forgot the question. See, that's what happens. I'm going to be 60. What was the question again?
Yeah. The question was, how did you handle when how did your wife handle that? You're out all the time, it's like, and you miss all the family stuff, it's got to be aggravating after a while.
So now I know what I was talking about. When the Lounge Puppets started, it took off immediately. I mean, it grew fast. We were, 2,000 people at Shark City, like a year after we started and the word had spread about the band. I did not take the shows. I played 2 to 3 times a month. That was it. I had a son, and that was my main focus was raising my son. And I turned down a lot of opportunities for the band playing out. I could have booked every Friday, Saturday. I just did 2 to 3 shows a month during the height of the Lounge Puppets for years. My son was a very talented baseball player. We were heavy into travel ball. I coached him. He made it as a college ball player. Probably would have gotten drafted had he not torn his labrum. Which is like the death sentence for pitchers. But it was more important raising my son than playing out every Friday and Saturday. So at that stage in my life, I did not have to sacrifice that much. As I got older and he got older, I decided, when I got the call, I had been asked by Ara, I don't know, 4 or 5 different times. Kevin and Connor called me and asked me to, every time, Tyler would leave or, every time there would be a change, he would call me and I would say, no, I don't have the time to do your schedule. I got to take care of raising my son. And then when the Kansas thing happened for Ronnie, he called me. He was trying to pick my brain who could fill Ronnie's shoes. And I said, well, wait a minute. I might be interested now. And he said, really? And I said, yeah, my son's going to be off to college. So, it might be time. So I ended up, really getting into heavy playing really when my son, was 18 years old and went off to college. And then I started, doing 50, 60, 70 shows a year. And, not much.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, like I said, when we were talking before, you're trying to always reinvent yourself, which is important, like you said. I mean, Ara, when it hit, it was hot. It was hot. I know, you had Ara at the time. I think Infinity was at the time. I know the Dream Police came out at that time, and it was like all this. But the question that I get, Pete, why, like you were saying about the other band trying to do songs that you thought people would like. We used to do like songs by the Babies because that was our favorite band, and Raspberries our favorite band. And they didn't want to hear that shit. And then here you go with the Styx, Foreigner, REO, Journey, Boston. Why do you think that people to this day, just enjoy that music? It's great music, but why? I mean, it's mind-boggling to me.
Because it's been in the background of their life. All the parties that they were at, feels like the first time was on, Rush was on, all that stuff was on the radio during their great years of their life where they were carefree and partying, and it was all about, oh my God, I love this song. Turn it up, let's have another beer, So I think they relate to it, and music's the common denominator. I think it's the number one common denominator for the human race is music. I really
Big
do.
one. You know, you hit it on a spot. I always say, no matter all the divided that we are in this world,
Yeah.
there's one thing that everybody has in common, and that's music. It might not be all the same music, but it's still music, and that's what got us through, get us through happy days, sad days. You know, like so, it's fantastic. So you're in Aura, you're crushing, and when do you say to yourself, "Okay, enough's enough, time to move on"?
Well, there was, Ara had wanted a front man. They had shared time with the Lounge Puppets for 7 years. So there were times where they would be like, "Oh, Pete, we got the show," but the Lounge Puppets had a show. So they would have to either get a sub or they would have to, turn down the show. So I completely understood. They wanted a front man or a singer that was, completely dedicated to them. I mean, they understood it going in. I agreed to do it, saying I'm not going to give up the Lounge Puppets, and the Lounge Puppets are, just as successful. But when it happened, and it was a good thing. I met my wife at an Ara show. Ara was my favorite cover band. When I would go see a cover band, that's why I met my wife, because my friend said Ara's playing, and I hadn't seen him in so long that I went there. I met my wife there at an Ara show. I think they're exceptionally one of the best, doing what they do and have been for many years, along with the Infinities and the High Infidelities. Which I don't know if you know, but I'm doing a side thing with Bob from Infinity called Journey to Jovi.
With Bobby. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of cool, because I had Bob on the show. Great guy too, as well. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Like I said, the stuff that you're doing, and then the Lounge Puppets, of course, you guys do. Let's backtrack just a little bit. Now, if some people don't know about growing up in Elmwood Park, what would you say was the most that you learned from growing up in Elmwood Park?
Well, you learn how to fight right away.
Yeah. You hit it right. You hit it, Peter. You hit it right on the knot. Yeah, you learn how to fight.
And if you didn't learn how to fight, you were getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
But you learn, what I can tell you from Elmwood Park is you learned loyalty to friends and family. And you learn that some of your friends are your family.
Big time.
And I've got friends that will always be my friends, just hanging out at the corner, getting in trouble for setting the tank on fire. Armand's Pizza.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Armand's Pizza is on my table every Friday night. I would order from Gio's on Harlem, which is another great pie. You learn that the food there is amazing in Elmwood Park. Yeah. I love Skip. I've gotten to headline Taste of Elmwood Park multiple years, and it's always like a homecoming. And for me, but I would say loyalty, how to fight, and loyalty to your friends and family. You learn a lot of really, really good core values. How to keep your mouth shut, which is a good thing.
Very good.
How to say the right, and when not to speak to the wrong person.
Absolutely. Sometimes that's the best route. And as much as we're talking about Elmwood Park, then let's talk about, we've hung out there, we've played there, we've headlined there. Something that people never don't understand about the Thirsty Whale. Ooh. That was a place that it just, my God, not only did you see great bands there, but when you walked in, you just felt like it was family. And, it was great. I was there for years. I was managed by Tony LaBarbera at the very beginning. And then, and I think everybody was at one particular time. But what was your whole take on the whole whale thing?
The Thirsty Whale.
Good and bad.
Well, the Thirsty Whale was just a place that you can go to, and it didn't matter who was playing. Good, bad, exceptional, national, local. You were going to run into people that were there for a common cause of music, and you were going to have a good time. You were going to have a great time. It didn't matter. You know, if you're at the Whale, there could be 15 people there. You're going to have a great time. Gina Jude's is right next door. Used to be Cock Robin's right next to that.
Cock Robin too. Yeah, yeah.
You know, the bad about the Thirsty Whale is the bad about everything, the politics. And when I don't mean politics like, you know, Trump and Biden. I mean politics in the music business, which, you know, unfortunately exist. And they existed way back then.
And even before then, the jealousy, this guy, that guy, poser, this guy, blah, blah, blah. So, and it was interesting. We talked about this too, because one time when all the bands were doing original music, oh, we can't do covers. It was frowned upon. And it's amazing. Yeah, right. I was like that too. Yeah, we can't do that. Even when everybody was doing like the Journey tributes, and when the tribute band came, and we came up with Cheap Trick, I go, if you're not a real Cheap Trick fan, you're going to sit through 90 minutes of 4 songs. Maybe. At least when you guys did it, it was okay. REO, Styx. It was like, okay, we're going to get a bunch of great songs. But you're absolutely right about that, which is, and the Whale was, and the new music and new people will never understand anything like that. We're listening. Got Peter Greco.
One other thing that was the bad that still exists today, which it shouldn't, and that's the unnecessary drama. And you had said, you know, and I agree, maybe the cause of the drama is the jealousy, which I don't understand why anyone would be jealous of anybody trying to do what you're trying to do. You know, I'm a fan of so many of these, you know, cover bands out there. You know, what else are you going to do with your life? You were born with a talent to do something. You know, God gave you this talent, and you know, you're just supposed to holster it and sit on it and not share it. You know, you go out there and you're their escape. They're your escape. And I don't like the drama. It's unnecessary. I really wish that didn't exist as well. But unfortunately, you know, it does. I'm better than you are. You can't do this. You can't play here. I don't want you doing this. It's just, it's stupid and childish.
Well, like, hey, how come they're doing 30 Fest and we're only doing 10, you know, or that kind of stuff. You know what? So politics. It's out there, and it's almost like any other job. I know what you're saying. Peter Greco's with us, folks, from the Lounge Puppets and his new project, Straight from the Heart, which we'll definitely talk about that. So, all right, get another question going on now. All right, 2020, COVID-19 hits. You get the call, you see it on the news, you can't leave the house, you're not playing anymore. Peter, what's the first thing that you think of? Number one, your health and your family, what you thought about. And number two, your business. What were you thinking?
Well, my story is a little bit different. I'm sure you know my political affiliation from my posts. It's just my belief. It doesn't mean anything. People take it.
Mine too. There's a lot of us. So
yeah. So I was waiting. Deep down inside me, I felt like they can't allow Donald Trump to win. So something big is going to happen. I thought something big is going to happen, unlike we've never seen in the world. And I was feeling this coming, you know, in September, October. And the second I heard about some virus in China where they're closing airports around the world, I said, that's it. That's what's going to happen. Well, that's what it was. And this is just me. Call me crazy. I don't care. It's out there. I'm already crazy. People think I'm crazy. But I was down in Key West. I had finally gotten down to Key West for the first time because I was down watching a tournament my son was in for his college. And they started taking the starter out and putting kids in that have never pitched. And we're like, what's going on? They're shutting down the tournament. What's going on? Well, everybody's going home. COVID. I called home. They're gonna drive my son home in the bus, and I was there with my wife. Like, I don't want to go home if they're closing Illinois. So we drove down to the Keys and we got to Key West, and then they said they're closing that. Then we drove to Hollywood, Florida, got to the casino one night there. Then they're closing that. Then we drove across to Marco Island, and we finally got a rental house, and they allowed us to do it day by day since we had a contract. And we ended up staying there for 3 weeks on an island that was shut down basically because you couldn't, visit the establishments, but you can purchase food and eat it in the parking lot. So we rode our bikes around for 3 weeks on Marco Island and fell in love with the place. And, that's where, we go every year. But 2020 happened. When that happened, man, I was looking at Illinois when I finally did get back, and I was searching for venues and owners that were defiant to the governor's, I would say, king's demands. That's what a king would do. He would demand,
Absolutely.
you cannot do this and you cannot do that, which was, whether people want to admit it or not, the fact. It's a fact. It was unconstitutional.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
I was looking for people that were giving the middle finger to the governor and were open for business. And I went to a lot of those places and said, I'd like to play. And I offered discounts because I knew they weren't going to be able to draw like they did.
Correct.
So I offered them a much cheaper rate to keep playing, to give the people somewhere to come to. I developed a lot of new relationships from places that I never played. Nico's Red Mill, Poopy's in Savannah, Even Flow in Lake Geneva, Captain's Quarters up in Antioch, places that were open. And there was another one, Jamie's Outpost in Utica. They were open and they were supporting freedom, and I wanted to be a part of that. So that's what I did during COVID. I was never even worried for 1 second about catching it. I've never been vaccinated. I've never been tested. I'm not even letting them put a swab up my nose. I don't trust them.
There you go.
I'm ultimate conspiracy theorist, but it's all coming true.
It's all coming through, Pete. And the same thing with you and me. A lot of the Italian restaurants, a lot of places I was working at, they never closed. They put the tents out there. They did whatever they did, and people did what it was. Now that we're learning all this stuff that's happening, and if you want to talk about kings, we'll talk. That Dr. Fauci. Here, you can only wear this mask, and you got to follow these arrows. That's what a king. I don't care, no matter what anybody tells you. Peter Greco from Lounge Puppets is watching, is on the show today, folks, and he's got a new project coming out called Straight from the Heart. Here's something and Peter, look, by the way, Lounge Puppets are going to be at the Broken Oar coming up Sunday on the 12th of April. It's about a 2:30.
Don't forget LP Vinyl. Don't forget LP Vinyl.
Oh, yeah, that was the next one on there too. That's coming up next. So we're going to talk about LP. But here's one thing now. This is a fight that's been going on for years. And even though bands have been using them for years, tracks and no tracks. And let me tell you something. I've made an incredible living on doing tracks as much as with my live band. And I don't give a shit what anybody says. Everybody uses them. What's your take on it? I'm not talking about the hokey kind. I'm talking about when it's done professionally and done right. What do you think?
Listen, to track or not to track. The only people that are worried about tracking are other musicians who are not tracking
and not working. Good point.
So if your focal point is we use no tracks, they think that this gets into the drama. They think that they're throwing a jab at a band that's using tracks. The band that's using tracks doesn't give a shit. Okay, I don't have to pay that keyboard player. That keyboard player's not taking any of my beer. He's not ordering food that he shouldn't be ordering. He's not ordering shots that he shouldn't be ordering. He always shows up on time.
Yes.
I never hear a peep out of him. He never has an opinion that needs to be listened to. He doesn't get a vote on anything. So
yeah, you gotta love it.
We started the Lounge Puppets with a live keyboard player. And I spent 8 months on the same 15 songs with 3 different keyboard players. They're a dime a dozen. They're very, very hard to find.
Very hard.
And I'm going to tell you something. I could tell you right now, some of those bands that want to, claim, oh, we're all live. I would put money on it. Your drummers couldn't play to a click, because not every drummer can pull that off. It is not easy. There's no room.
No.
I can't tell you how many times when been in a live band situation, somebody makes a mistake, everybody just goes with it. The audience doesn't know. You got to kill the tracks in the middle of a song. People know. It's a lot on the drummer. The drummer's got to run the show. They've got to be able to keep it moving. They've got to be able to make it look seamless. And they've got to be on their game. Actually, everybody has to be on their game. It's not as easy as you think. It's actually more difficult to play with tracks than to not play with tracks.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. So there you go. And I'm getting that too. All right. So before we hit on that topic that people are not supposed to talk about, which we will hit right after this question here. We still got about 6-7 minutes before the show is over. Peter Greco from Lounge Puppets. You had another project called LP Vinyl. Pretty cool name, by the way. So what's up with that? And still in the mix, or when does it happen?
I started LP Vinyl when I left. I started LP Vinyl when I left Aura. Because I wanted to continue doing the classic rock stuff. I cut my teeth on the classic rock stuff. I lived the 80s, which is the Lounge Puppets, the Bon Jovi and the Def Leppard and all that. LP Vinyl does the Journey show, which is Escape and the Straight from the Heart. And we do the full-on classic rock show that, we're playing out all the time as well. LP stands for Lounge Puppets, or LP, and Vinyl just, Lounge Puppets Classic. That's what it really meant.
That's what it meant. And it's interesting too, but that is so cool. I mean, I love that you keep doing that. And one of your influences was the great Steve Perry, Eddie Money, one of my favorite too, Robin Zander, Eddie Money, Joe Cocker. There's so many great singers. And I think Robin Zander and Lou Gramm from Foreigner, and Robin Zander. I just think that a lot of people don't know who he is. Eddie Money, they don't know who he is. They know the songs, but they don't know Eddie Money. And Robin Zander got one of the greatest rock and roll voices. And all this rumors about Steve Perry coming back to Journey, and without that, blah, blah, blah. And this other guy, the guy does a decent job, but there's never going to be another Steve Perry. Do you ever see them getting back together again?
No, Steve's voice is shot. He's like, Robert Plant. So Steve, he won't say that, but it just isn't there. It's, touring and wear and tear on the voice that he's physically unable to do it. But you touched on, and to me, he's the greatest of all time. He's just effortless, hitting, high soprano notes in full throat. But Robin Zander is one of my favorite singers and a very, very big influence to me as well. And I'm a huge Cheap Trick fan. I mean, I'm talking deep cuts, the whole 9 yards.
I love them all. I mean, I still love one of my favorite records is The Doctor, and people are still going to give me shit on that because it was all electronic and it wasn't Cheap Trick. But hey, it's Cheap Trick. They went with the times. But LP Vinyl doing what they're doing. But you know what, Peter, a young kid or young girl comes up to you and says, "Hey, Pete, I mean, I love what you're doing. Would you recommend them? Yeah, do this. You should do it too." Or would you tell them not to?
If you have talent, do it. Do it. I don't know what my life would be like. I'd be sitting on a couch every Friday and Saturday night eating pizza and, wasting my life away. And I get to go out and entertain, have fun, mix and mingle. My wife loves it. She's extremely supportive. And I would say do it. If it's a passion of yours, if it's something that you think you would like to do, try it. See if you like it. If you like it, do it. It isn't for everybody. Some people just like to sit in their studio and write, and they don't like performing.
Yeah.
But if you have talent, I would definitely explore the gifts that God gave you and see what you could do with them.
But Peter, these days, and if you notice with TikTok and all this stuff, they don't have to be that talented anymore. They don't have to be that talented. And what do you think about the new music? I mean, I haven't listened to the radio since the '80s. You know, when grunge hit, I kind of lost interest in the radio and that
Yeah,
kind of
me too.
music.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
I'm the power pop guy, you know, so I couldn't tell you anything after in the '90s. But the new music now, is rock on?
No, I there's not much of it, but I do hear songs, and when I hear them, you know, the hook, the melody, the passion. I'm always hearing a new song here or there by a different artist, or I'm like, oh, that's really good. And I don't listen to the radio like I used to. I'm like you, but on Facebook, I'll hear something, I'll be like, wow, that's good, and I'll go and I'll search it and I'll find it. I'm like, I like that song. But I don't think rock will ever die, and I think that what you're seeing is some bands get deals that are more retro, you know, that are, you know, going back to the old way, you know, which is pretty cool. I think rock's always going to.
Well, I hope that works.
Real quick.
What happened?
I was asked to do a video by Dave McCalkis.
Okay.
All right. And I figured now would be a good time to do it. So
okay,
I would like for everyone to please head out and support Rock Out to Knock Out Parkinson's Benefit. It's at Joe's Live on Friday, April 17th. It features Seventh Heaven and High Infidelity. Adam and Dave both deal with Parkinson's. This is a great event for a great cause. Please, please show your support and head out there. I think I might be in the audience as well. I offered to have the Lounge Puppets play there. He said no need to, so might head out there myself, but please go support them and the cause.
Yeah, Parkinson is something, it's a great cause, a great venue. You see some great guys and some great live music. That's the place to go, Joe's Live. Yeah, it's a great thing to mention that. But we were talking about, Peter, there was a band on AI, and someone said, boy, this band is fantastic. And he looked for tour dates. There's no such band.
Yeah. That's scary.
That's scary. Scary.
And I've heard some of it. And some of it's really good.
Some of it's good. And my buddy Nick Sahaj is the piano player. He does the Billy Joel tribute band. He's a voting member for the Grammy Awards. And when he went to the Grammy Awards this year, the rock and roll nominations weren't even mentioned on television.
Yeah. Well,
it's scary.
I think the one thing that, listen, AI, as far as we know right now, AI can't perform live.
Correct.
So that's why it's important to still support live music. That's one thing that AI cannot do. Maybe we'll have holograms and performers in the future, but right now, you want live, you got to go see live. Tracks or no tracks?
Tracks or no tracks? Peter Greco from Lounge Puppets. We got one question left, and we're running out of time. We got 2 minutes left. Why the hatred? Peter, why so much hatred over one president of the United States, in your opinion? I mean, hatred. It's not like the other guy, like Biden. Okay, I didn't like the guy. It wasn't like this hate is just tearing this country apart.
Because honestly, I think deep down inside, he talks to you like a 1950s father would talk to their child. And the world, the United States of America, has been pussified.
Bingo.
And nobody's got thick skin anymore. Everybody's so thin-skinned. You have to accept this. You have to accept that. No, it's not accept. I have no problem with genders, gay, none of it. Never did my entire life. I have gay family members.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean that I have to accept it. Doesn't mean that I have to believe it. I don't believe in it. I'm okay. I have friends that are, it's just, I'm asking you to believe, well, this is what I believe. Look what the Chicago Bulls just did. I cannot believe that, that he was let go for, think of where we're at. He's getting let go for Christian values, and a guy can beat a woman and gets a 30-game suspension. As far as I'm concerned, touching a woman is a far worse crime and should be unacceptable. But what is a woman? I don't know.
I don't know anymore.
What is a woman? I know what a woman is.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my favorite things.
It's like they can't tell the difference. It's mind-boggling to me that even during that whole protest, 1%. Of people that
comes from everybody thinking they know more than anybody else. Sometimes you just got to trust your gut and know, hey, what's common sense? Common sense tells me that there are two genders. Common sense tells me that we're here because of the two genders. Those are facts. That's science. And I think people, they want to express themselves. And I'm sorry, you can express yourself. I don't have to agree with it. I'm not putting it down. I'm not trying to be politically correct. I won't try to be politically correct. Trump's not politically correct. And that's why another reason why they hate him so much. He doesn't do everything right. He doesn't hit everything on the money. He's made his mistakes. But I'm sorry. I'm so sick and tired of the argument that he's a 34-time felon who has raped minor women. Yet you can't sit there and say Joe Biden's daughter wrote in her own diary that was stolen from her and published, and the person went to prison for doing it, but nobody wants to address that.
No.
So
that's the part that gets me. If everything was least point to point, okay, fair is fair. Okay, fair is fair. That would be okay, but it's not. He did it, but nobody else did. Uh-oh, we just lost Peter here. Peter, we lost you. You might have to come back on again as we are. Peter Greco was with us, folks. It looks like we lost him. Looks like he's going to have to get back on again. Oh, Peter. That's okay. That's all right, brother. It was 1 minute. I'll just thank everybody. Listen, buddy, thank you so much for coming on, man. And we got to hook up. We got to do something. Thank you, Peter. You got it, brother. No. Well, thank you, Peter, for your kind words. All right, brother, you have a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Greco was on his computer just ran out. His laptop ran out, but he just wanted, Peter, thank you for being on the phone. We just got off the phone with him. Guys, we're running out of time. That was Peter Greco from Lounge Puppets. And don't forget, man, they're going to be at the Broken Oar. Make sure you, on Sunday on the 12th, and check out his band LP Vinyl as well. Nick Cox is watching. Nikki, how you doing from Seventh Heaven, my brothers from Seventh Heaven. How you doing, Nikki? Great talent himself. Mike Thurston, how you doing, buddy? Another great talent himself. Great watching a lot of the talent people watching the show today. Boyd, how you doing, brother? Ellie Weinhart from the League of Her Own, and a great talent that she is. Anyway, folks, it's coming to the end of the hour now. It's birthdays for Friday on the 3rd of April. That's right. For you sci-fi fans, Ultraman turns 55. Ron Palello, Horshack, celebrating a birthday. Emily Lou Harris, great country singer. You got to love him, man. just great stuff. Lisa Hunt turns 91. Eddie Volkman, great guy, got a great talk show guy. Love him. Claude Dawn Van Damme, Grace Kelly, 97 years old. Jim Jordan, celebrating a birthday. Kate Middleton, of course, the wife of Prince Williams. Marvin Gaye, celebrating a birthday, and the list goes on for today. Dean Richards from WGN. Well, I don't think he's with WGN anymore, but anyway, guys, we're back again on Monday, and remember, tonight we'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg. Tomorrow we'll be at Johnny's Kitchen and Tap, and check out the Moe's Dream Belief stuff on our pages when Rick Nielsen joined the band again with Miles and Dax when we did Cheap Trick, International Cheap Trick Day at the Hard Rock Casino this past Wednesday. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. We do really appreciate it, and always spending your time with us here Monday through Friday at noon and bringing up some fun. Let's thank our sponsor here before we say good afternoon. Of course, we're talking about Ace Hardware. Our good friends from JRC Ace Hardware. Is your patio ready for barbecue season? Your local JRC Ace Hardware stores have legendary brands that you'll love and prices you'll crave. Save $100 on the Weber Genesis E313 gas grill, or if you're looking for the WorldFire flavor, grab the Tangier Pro 22. Just $549.99. That's $100 savings. You can't beat that, folks. And JRC Ace Hardware Stores Ace Rewards members get a free assembly and delivery on grills, $390 and more and up. You get that free delivery. You can't beat it. Come for the ultimate backyard setup. JRC Ace Hardware Stores, the helpful place near you. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. And don't forget to tell them to grill your ace off. Get that new grill. And they just broke ground in Elmwood Park, their new location. Guys, I want to thank you all. Peter Greco, thank you from Lounge Puppets. And guys, remember a couple things. Buy local, shop local, support local establishments, support live entertainment. And just if you're offended with anything on this show, doesn't mean you're right. Doesn't mean we're right either. But let's stop being so offended about it. Let's have some fun in life. Let's bring back the poking fun and having some fun and just laughing. They're jokes, folks. They're jokes. Let's just try to get along with everybody because we're not all going to agree, but it's important to be nice to everybody. That does matter. And again, we want to thank you all. Back on Monday, same time, same station. Have an incredible weekend. Happy Easter to you and your families if you celebrate Easter. And happy Passover and all that other stuff that's going on this week. Go out and support live music, baby. It's important. Ringo Starr says peace and love. God bless you all and have an incredible weekend. Back here on Monday, same time, same station. Nick Sahaj is the piano man. Take us out. Bye-bye, everybody. Peace.
Time to go. It's the end of the show. See you later from Tony.
God bless everybody. God bless America. Thank you so much for watching the show. God bless you. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.